In the hushed glow of a suburban Los Angeles evening, as Miller's Comet carved its ethereal path across the starlit sky, 8 friends converged on the cozy home of Edward and Shelley for what promised to be a night of laughter, wine, and easy conversation. Rebecca, a poised young woman on the cusp of a life-altering decision, arrived with her boyfriend Josh. Though tension simmered beneath her smile, she wasn't ready to join him on his upcoming trip abroad. Josh's ex, Erica, had tagged along uninvited, courtesy of their mutual friend Bob, her flirtations with Josh like sparks on dry tinder. Rounding out the group were the sharp-witted Jacob, a theater director with a penchant for the dramatic, and Beth, Jacob's friend, Edward's warm but watchful wife, who had spent the afternoon preparing a feast that now sat half-eaten on the dining table. The evening unfolded with the familiar rhythm of old friends, stories swapped over glasses of red, debates about relationships and regrets, the comet's glow filtering through the windows like a distant promise of wonder. But as the tail end of the celestial visitors swept overhead, the lights flickered and died. The house plunged into shadow, cell phones bereft of signal, the world outside swallowed by an unnatural blackout. Edward and Shelley rummaged for candles and glow sticks, blue ones, each friend claiming one like a talisman, and stepped into the cool night air. The neighborhood lay eerily silent, every home cloaked in darkness. Except one, just across the street, ablaze with warm light, as if mocking their isolation. Back inside, unease crept in like fog. A shattered glass lay scattered across the kitchen floor, its shards glinting accusingly. No one could recall dropping it. Jacob's brother, a physicist obsessed with quantum oddities, had warned him, during the comet's pass, if anything strange unfolded, call immediately. With no bars on their phones, Jacob and Bob volunteered to borrow one from the lit house. They returned minutes later, Bob clutching a peculiar box, Jacob sporting a fresh gash on his forehead. Inside the box, a ping-pong paddle etched with unfamiliar scratches, and photographs of the entire group snapped that very evening, each with cryptic numbers scrawled on the backs. Peering through the other house's window, Jacob had glimpsed a dining table set for 8, identical to theirs, the faces around it hauntingly familiar yet wrong. Panic rippled through the room like a shiver. They scribbled a note. Anyone there? We're over here. Something's wrong. And pinned it to their door, only to find an exact duplicate waiting in its place when they checked. Theories tumbled out in the candlelight: parallel worlds, quantum fractures, the comet's gravity ripping reality into echoes. The group deduced that venturing through the inky void outside acted like a threshold, shuffling souls between splintered versions of the night. Emboldened, or perhaps desperate, Rebecca, Josh, Edward, and Erica crossed the street, blue glow sticks clutched like lifelines. But in the swallowing dark, they collided with shadows, 4 figures emerging from the gloom, red glow sticks in hand, faces twisted in mutual terror. Friend turned stranger in an instant. They scattered back to their respective doors, hearts pounding, the line between ally and intruder blurred forever. Jacob fetched his brother's tome on quantum decoherence from the car, its pages whispering of realities that could collapse like waves on a shore. Edward, ever the hothead, drowned his fears in whiskey and muttered dark plans. Notes of blackmail slipped under doors, warnings to their doubles, stay away, or else. But doubt festered. Jacob and Bob, it turned out, weren't who they seemed. They'd slipped through the veil too, hailing from yet another fractured house. The box they carried now held duplicates of notes, hinting at not 2, but 4, no, 5 realities overlapping like translucent films. Tensions erupted in whispers and shouts. Beth caught Erica in a stolen kiss with Josh, the betrayal slicing deeper in the chaos. A rock shattered Jacob's car window from the shadows outside. Rebecca, rummaging in her own vehicle for the diamond ring Josh had given her, a symbol of their teetering future, locked eyes with him and saw the fracture. His answers didn't align, his memories a mismatched puzzle. He wasn't her Josh. In a bid for clarity, they forged their own box, photos numbered by dice rolls, a random memento tossed in for proof. The verdict was a house of cards tumbling. Shelley and Beth rooted here, unmoved, Rebecca, Josh, and Erica adrift from another, Jacob and Bob from a third, Edward, staggeringly, from a fourth, all his own. A blackmail note slithered under the door, exposing Edward's affair with Beth, the words a venomous echo from his double. Then, violence breached the threshold. Edward from beyond the veil burst in, grappling with his twin in a frenzy of fists and fury before vanishing into the night. Rebecca couldn't bear it any longer. She slipped out alone, a ghost in the comet's fading light, peering through windows into infinite variants of the party, some shattered by the same madness, others blissfully untouched. Her heart led her to one such haven, where laughter rang pure and unscarred. With calculated cunning, she lured the inhabitants out by hurling a stone at the car, then ambushed her alternate self in the driveway. A struggle in the shadows, ketamine from Edward vet kit dulling the fight, and Rebecca claimed her prize, not just survival, but a second chance. She shed her ring in the fray but pried it from her double's finger, subduing the intruder one final time as the comet fractured overhead, reality's sealing like wounds. Dawn broke with deceptive normalcy. Rebecca stirred on the sofa, the party winding down in golden light, her friends none the wiser, or so it seemed. Josh knelt beside her, pressing the ring into her palm. "Found it in the bathroom," he murmured with a puzzled smile. His phone buzzed to life, the screen lighting up with her name, Rebecca calling. She stared at the twin bands in her hand, cold realization dawning as he answered, his gaze lifting to meet hers across the impossible divide. In that suspended breath, the night's echoes lingered, a reminder that some fractures run too deep to mend.